I'm going to tell you 3 things today that no one has told you yet. 3 secrets to living longer, stronger, and freer than most people ever imagined. Most advice you hear about aging is the same. Take more pills, slow down, accept weakness. But the truth is, those are not the answers. Hidden in plain sight are practices that monks, healers, and wise elders have used for centuries to defy time. If you're over 60, listen closely, because these 3 secrets could add not just years to your life, but life to your years. And once you hear them, you'll never look at aging the same way again. The first secret is what I call the breath of hidden strength. Many people think longevity begins with food or exercise, but the truth is more fundamental. It begins with the breath. When I was a boy, my master once told me, before you can master life, you must master the pause between breaths. At first, I did not understand. I thought life was about movement, about striking hard, about pushing limits. But one day while training, I collapsed from exhaustion. My lungs burned, my body trembled, and I felt as if death was close. My master knelt beside me, placed a hand on my chest, and whispered, "Breathe," not as if the air belongs to the world, but as if it belongs to you. In that moment, I realized breath is not just air, it is energy, it is rhythm, it is life itself. Most people today breathe shallowly, starving their bodies of oxygen and starving their cells of renewal. Shallow breath creates shallow energy. But when you breathe with awareness, you unlock a hidden reservoir of strength that no medicine can give you. Science confirms this. Deep diaphragmatic breathing increases oxygen flow, lowers blood pressure, strengthens immunity, and even reverses the effects of stress hormones that silently damage your body over decades. It nourishes the brain, clears the fog of aging, and awakens cells to repair themselves. Let me share with you the story of Harold, a retired engineer from Minnesota. At 72, Harold was told by his doctors that his heart was weak and his years of quality life were limited. One day, he discovered a simple Shaolin breathing practice. At first, he laughed. It looked too easy. But he tried it every morning for 10 minutes. After 3 months, his heart rhythm stabilized. He began walking faster, sleeping better, and even laughing louder. His doctor was baffled, but Harold smiled and said, "I learned how to breathe again." My friends, this is the first secret. Reclaim your breath. Not just the automatic gasp of survival, but the conscious breath of renewal. Stand tall, place one hand on your belly, the other on your chest, and breathe deeply, filling belly, chest, then shoulders. Then exhale slowly, emptying chest and belly like a wave retreating. Do this each morning and night, and your cells will light up with energy. Longevity is not measured in years, but in presence. If you live 100 years but never taste a single moment deeply, you have not truly lived. But if you live one breath fully, you glimpse eternity in that moment. I want you to think about your own life. How many days pass where you never once notice your breathing? How many mornings do you wake with shallow gasps, carrying yesterday's stress into today? What if instead you could start each morning with a breath so deep it washes away your fears and gives you strength? Breath is not just for the body. Breath is prayer, breath is spirit, breath is life returning to you in every inhale. So the first secret to longevity nobody talks about is this. To master your breath is to master your life. The second secret is what I call the forgotten way of moving. Most people think of movement as exercise, lifting heavy weights, pounding pavement, sweating in gyms. But true longevity does not come from strain. It comes from gentle, intentional movement. In the Shaolin temple, we say, the body is the temple of the spirit. If the temple collapses, the spirit has nowhere to stay. Each morning, monks rise before the sun to move, not to build muscles, but to keep the body supple, balanced, and alive. Years ago, an old man named Romesh came to our temple from Sri Lanka. He was 68, with stiff knees and a bent back from decades of labor. Doctors told him his best years were behind him. But my master gave him 10 minutes of flowing movements each day. At first he struggled. His knees screamed, his back resisted, but he persisted. After 3 months, his posture improved. After 6, he climbed the temple stairs with ease. After a year, he carried buckets of water up the mountain trail alongside young monks. His secret was not intensity but consistency. Gentle daily movement rescued him. Modern science agrees. Low-intensity daily movement, walking, tai chi, yoga, light stretches, reduces inflammation, keeps mitochondria awake, and prevents stiffness that leads to falls. It restores circulation, strengthens balance, and improves flexibility that protects you as you age. Your body is like water. If still, it stagnates. If forced, it breaks. But if it flows gently and continuously, it nourishes everything it touches. Tomorrow morning, before eating, before looking at your phone, give yourself 10 minutes. Roll your shoulders, stretch with your breath, squat lightly, twist gently, flow like water. Even 5 minutes will awaken circulation, loosen joints, and tell your body, stay alive. Remember Romesh. At 68, he thought he was finished. At 70, he felt reborn. There was another student, James, a retired teacher from Kentucky. At 74, he struggled with hip pain so severe that even walking to the mailbox became a challenge. His doctor recommended surgery, but James hesitated. Instead, he began practicing gentle daily movement, inspired by what he read about Shaolin monks. He started small, lifting his legs from a chair, circling his arms, breathing with each motion. In the beginning, it was painful, but he told himself, "I am not broken, I am simply stiff." Within 6 months, his hip pain lessened and he was walking around his neighborhood again. His neighbors were stunned, and James simply said, "I remembered how to move." This is the second secret. You do not need to push harder, you need to move smarter. Now you have discovered the breath and rediscovered movement. But longevity is incomplete without the third secret, the most important of them all. Because what use is breath and movement if your mind and spirit are heavy with burdens? This final secret is what separates those who simply live long from those who live long with joy and freedom. I call it the release of inner weight. Longevity is not only threatened by illness or accidents, it is shortened by the silent poison of the mind. Regret, anger, bitterness, loneliness, these emotions eat away at your years more than unhealthy food ever could. I once met Evelyn, a 75-year-old widow from Boston. Her body was not weak, but her spirit was heavy. She carried grief for her husband, resentment toward her children, regret for things undone. She told me, "My body is alive, but I feel dead inside." I taught her something simple. Every night, close your eyes and name 3 things you are grateful for. Not grand things, small things. The taste of tea, a smile from a neighbor, the song of birds. Slowly, Evelyn's face softened, her laughter returned, her voice grew lighter. Science affirms this. Gratitude and forgiveness lower stress hormones, strengthen immunity, and repair the brain's memory centers. Joy is medicine. Bitterness is poison. So the third secret is simple. Release the inner weight. Forgive yourself. Forgive others. Replace bitterness with gratitude. You cannot change the past, but you can transform the future. Each night, write down 1 burden to release and 3 blessings to keep. Do this daily, and you will not only live longer, you will live lighter. I remember another story, this time from a woman named Lian, who visited the temple at age 69. She had lived her life carrying anger toward her brother over an inheritance dispute. For decades, the bitterness grew inside her like a slow fire. Her body aged faster, her sleep was restless, her heart heavy. When she learned to forgive, not because her brother deserved it, but because she deserved peace, her face changed. The wrinkles softened, her energy returned, her laughter sounded like a bell. Forgiveness gave her years back. And then there was Samuel, a man of 81 who felt crushing loneliness after his friends and wife had passed. His body was alive, but his days felt empty. He was invited to volunteer at a local school, teaching children how to paint. Suddenly, the loneliness dissolved. He realized the third secret wasn't just about letting go, but about filling the heart again with love, gratitude, and connection. My friends, these are the 3 secrets to longevity that nobody talks about. The breath of hidden strength, the forgotten way of moving, and the release of inner weight. Do not underestimate their simplicity. The greatest truths are always simple, but they hold the power to transform everything. If you are over 60, hear me clearly. Your life is not finished. You are not at the end, you are at the beginning of your second spring. The years ahead can be stronger, freer, and more joyful than the years behind you if you live these secrets each day. So ask yourself, will you let age define you, or will you let wisdom refine you? Will you surrender to decline, or will you rise into longevity with breath, with movement, and with a heart free of weight? You have the choice, and the choice begins now. And if these teachings touched you, Do not keep them hidden. Subscribe now to Golden Wisdom. Share this message with a friend or loved one who needs hope. Imagine thousands of us breathing together, moving together, releasing together, elders shining with strength instead of fear, wisdom instead of regret. Your journey begins with a single breath. Take it now, and let us walk this path of golden wisdom together.